Is your dad still with us?
No, he died when I was in prison. He came to see me. Yeah, he came to see me 2 or 3 times.
When is the first time he found out that you were doing fraud?
The first time I got in trouble.
When you got the
Yeah,
probation?
because I had to kind of explain that, like something's happening. I didn't want him to hear it from anybody else.
So you talked to him directly about it.
Super disappointed.
Did he ever tell you he loves you after that?
So after I got the 26 years and the government decided they weren't going to indict anybody, and I really was like, wow, this is it. Like, you're done. He came to see me, but just by himself. And I remember when he came to see me, it was by himself. Like, he never came by himself. So I remember thinking, something happened to my mom. And as soon as I walked in, he walked in. I go, what happened? I go, where's mom? And he goes, oh, she's fine. She's fine. And he sat down with me and he said, he said, how are you doing? And I was like, I'm good. And he was just like, he was getting sick. He was getting older. So, we talked for a little bit, just about the situation. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, well, what are you going to do? And I was like, there's nothing I can do. Like, everybody I've called, multiple attorneys, I've talked to people, there's nothing I can do. And he was like, well, you're going to figure it out. He goes, he said, you're clever and you're smart and you're not going to do all of that time. And I was like, I'm done. It's over. I'm going to get out of here when I'm 60 if I behave myself. And if I don't, I'll be 64. And he was like, that's not going to happen. And so he said, I think that was the first time I knew he was proud of me when I was making money, but he never said it. You got the look, like he was like impressed. But we were sitting there and I remember he said, because it's the only time I can ever remember him saying he was proud of me. And I remember he said, you're going to figure this out. He said, I'm not proud of where you ended up, but you've done amazing things. I wish you'd use your talents for something different, but you've done things that I could have never done. And you've led an amazing, adventurous life, and I'm proud of you. And that,
I wish he could see you now.
My mom, my mom saw me. My mom's funny because my mom came to see me. My mom's a gangster. Mm-hmm. My mom came to see me every 2 weeks for 13 years. She missed about a month and a half when she had a stroke and ended up in a wheelchair. And then she came in the wheelchair and she would make my brother bring her. My brother and sister would be like, Mom, are you sure you want to go? Like, it's so hard it's such a long drive and you get so tired. Well, I'll sleep in the car. I know, but then we have to wait in that the waiting area, forever, and it takes forever. Well, I'm in the wheelchair, so I'm fine. Well, I know, but it's such a pain to get in and out and then in and out. She goes, I'm going to see my son and you're taking me.
I love it.
She, yeah, so she was something else. And I always say, like if I had to say, I don't think about all the things I did to get out. Like, I know, there's all these guys that are, like, oh, I wouldn't have done that. I'd have been a stand-up guy and I'd have been, well, good for fucking you, bro. I wanted to get out. I wanted out. the icing on the cake of me getting out. And I would have cut every motherfucker's head in that prison off. I was able to get out just in time to spend the last year and a half of my mother's life with her. I saw her 2 or 3 times a week, took her to dinner once a week, was able to go on walks with her in her wheelchair. I was sitting right next to her when she had her final stroke. I held her hand when she took her last breath. So if I have to be called a snitch the rest of my life, I don't give a fuck. Like, I may not deserve more, but she deserved more.